Okay, where's the button to push to make
It's
the
already
picture?
going, I think.
Oh, you're filming. And I'm
so.
talking. Crap.
Listen.
Go on with the premium zone. That's the
Tell me that I'ma still do this. Sell me crap, I ain't buying it. And the cats be lying, cause they dream is so dang selfish. Wake up, shake up, let me make up a new grade where everybody tastes love. Bring love, spread it, never forget it. Isn't what you think it is. Concepts exist so differently based on perspective. Constantly I'm switching out and in dimensions. Game off, shake off, take off the lid that close everybody brain off. Thank God, get it? Blessing isn't ever what you think it is. Also, newest, patrol that consciousness. Oh yeah, fluid, rolling around all of this. Also, newest, patrol that consciousness. Oh yeah, fluid, rolling around all of this. This is how it works.
I am Diana Peebles. I am Neo Geo. I am a performer, poet, writer who propagates balance and peace in this crazy, chaotic world.
Yeah, thank you, thank you.
Futro is a art collective that I thought of, this idea of bringing people together to create projects together that have different skill sets, and I thought it would be powerful if these people could come together and create work. Futro is the inspiration for my current project. Hazama is my latest project. It's a digital album with an accompanying book as its physical format. Hazama is this concept of in-between, which is what it means in Japanese. It's basically this analysis of relationships, whereas everything is kind of all these opposites have a relationship that's kind of like this connective tissue, which is in between them. And so Hazama is kind of this idea of exploring these different like contrasting relationships, what's like the in-between that connects them. And it's told through this story of the moon gazer, who is this made-up person who's kind of an alternate ego of Neo Geo and Yusuda, the artist. And it's this character who's kind of this grappling with the conflicts of modern society, but still feeling this connection to nature via the moon and observing the moon. Moon gazer is a simile for recluse in old Japanese. So he's kind of this reclusive character that feels disconnected, but is yet connected via nature, and figuring out how to navigate that relationship and how to bring that to light with modern perspective. My goal as Neo Geo is to bring a different perspective on things that I might not otherwise be able to present to people. Basically, my purpose is to kind of help people remember who they are and remember their connection to nature and the natural world, while at the same time embracing the digital progress and the digital world that we're all so engulfed in. Hazama, like all of my Neo Geo projects, is inherently collaborative. What I mean by that is I am maybe the main visionary of the project and the writer of the lyrics and such, but it's largely produced by and created by Winston Lane, who's an old collaborator of Neo Geo's, and Winston Lane is the main sonic voice of the work, where his production is basically the feel and vibe of Hazama. I'm really lucky to be working with him. His production really brings the Hazama feel to life for me.
Yeah, good one. But my point was that you do.
That's the cover.
And I basically write off of his sounds, and his sonic template is how I create the lyrics. Carl Kling is another element of Hazama that is very crucial. He is my engineer, and he did all the recording and mixing and mastering of the project, and he added little elements here and there, whether it be like a live synthesizer or just kind of like really working and going deep on my vocals and effects and things, and I owe a lot of gratitude to for his work. The last key component of Hazama is the artist behind the work, and that's Yu Suda, who's based in Tokyo. He was the one I initially thought of creating the work with, and he's the one who came up with the idea for the title, Hazama. He is this amazing illustrator from Japan who has inspired me with his work for years, since I first saw his art show he did in Portland 3 years ago at Helian Gallery. Yu Suda created the illustrations of Hazama to accompany each song of the album, and these illustrations are what became the book Hazama, the cover art, and then 10 illustrations to go with the 10 songs. That I then wrote a poem in response to his illustrations. It went from music to illustrations to poems, so the book is actually in English and Japanese, which I'm very happy about. My friend Kei Horiuchi, who did the translations in the end for the book, she actually helped me convey my meaning and my purpose with the work into Japanese, and helped me kind of communicate with Yu Suda via the internet, which I'm very grateful for. I feel like having that person be the middle ground for this communication was very helpful. We did have communication just back and forth between he and I in English, even though he may not feel that that is his best language. I feel like he speaks it fairly well, but there's still some barriers there, and we were able to communicate via imagery as well, and he was able to more immediately kind of connect to my vision. Once I showed him like some comic books and kind of anime that I was inspired by, he was able to really pick up my idea a little bit quicker, and so that was cool. This trip really was a platform for me to bring the work to not only the people that were on the project with me, but also these new people that have never heard of me, and I think it allowed me to kind of share my message, both lyrically and expressively, but also kind of physically, which was a unique opportunity for me, and I think it did convey, the meaning of Hazama in a different light, and I think overall it was a very important thing for me, and I hope people kind of felt that way as well. My hope is that it's for both American and Japanese audiences, that it's somewhat familiar yet somewhat unique and kind of almost uncomfortable in a way. That's kind of my hope, is to kind of bridge this kind of barrier for both cultures. I definitely got a good response from people while I was there, and I'm really grateful for all the opportunities I had there. want to remind people to remember who they are, to remember that we are all indigenous to this earth. Projects like Hazama are important to me because they are like a conduit for different voices, different perspectives, different feelings. It's like this time capsule that's representative of what these different people are feeling and expressing and coming together and sharing their energy, and then kind of putting it into this work. You know, in this case, it's music and visual, this album and book.
Being globally connected has been important to me since my first time leaving this country, and this opportunity to tour Japan was not only a dream come true, but also something that I felt was very important for me and hopefully those that I collaborated with.
This is imaginary, but you really are my best friend. This is imaginary, but you really help me be myself. 言葉で価値観決めるぐらいなら俺も知ってるね。クソバッタなこの曲聴いて体睨んでいるやなしてくて、海を越えて会ったこともねえ。でもお前目にとんがる暑さを感じてるから、この曲に全ての思いを込めてくぜ。メロディーよ with the taco bit 言葉の感情が全てをつなげろ。臭いもんにはフーダをやつは知ってるクーダもつまりなしで歌をフリックフレーザーファックオン。明日迎えに来る魂が来る前、明日に迎える前、全てを自分まで自分の思う前、全てを見てる前、全てが俺の中で覚えてるはずだぜ。Friend, my Bugatti, you worry to the end. You my friend, my Bugatti, you worry to the end. You my friend, my Bugatti, you worry to the end. You my friend, my Bugatti, you worry to the end. Blocks, skipping, off the lady, watch, flipping, popping, lady, thoughts, digi, conscious, liquid, gods, tripping, off the tripping off the Scorpio and Leo Geo, Scorpio and Leo Geo, hey.